So Anand Esteves, welcome to Saligaon and things like that. Your name struck a bell because I had been a collector of your dad's book, okay, which came out in the 80s, Politics and Political Leadership in Goa. Can you tell us about your dad and his work?
He has published a number of books.
Yeah.
This may not have been the first one. His first book was, I think, Goa and Its Future.
I've heard of that. 1960s. Mankatala Publishers or something.
Yes,
it used to be quoted all over the
60s,
place.
I think it is.
Early 60s, just after liberation. It used to be quoted all over the place.
Possibly.
And then?
It was... thereafter, he had come out with a number of books. I think all told, until 2002, when he last published his book, he must have published around 10 to 12
Wow.
books.
Quite prolific.
Besides that, of course, there were other writings in the newspaper.
Magazines. Goa Today. I remember his name, prominent name.
Goa Today was not too much, but Herald, Navin Times,
I see.
Times of India. The Examiner, he was very famous for writing in the Examiner. Every Christmas and every Easter, there would have been an article from him. And the editor used to actually ring up to
remind him
to send this article in.
What were the topics that he wrote on?
It started with politics.
Yeah.
And graduated to the church and its teachings and the future of the church in India.
One of those people who wrote on a wide range of interests. And in that generation, there were quite a few of them.
In fact, he was involved with the synod in Bombay.
I see.
In 99, 2000, I think around that time. National Convention of Catholics was held in 1988 and he was a part of that.
So you said he was born in which year and died when, at the age of?
Died at the age of 93.
In which year?
2012.
And was born
He was born in 1919.
Okay. Wow. And you all are basically been based in Chembur all along?
We have always lived in Chembur.
Okay. Very interesting. What do you remember about his books? How small were you when he was writing them? Some he wrote before you were born. You're 65.
I think a couple of them were written before that.
Okay.
I don't remember too much about his writings because everything happened when I was still in school.
Okay. Where would he write? He would write at home or he would write?
Yeah, normally it used to be at home.
I see.
Maybe he would jot down points in the office. I do not know. I presume...
At that age, you don't take an interest in these things. When you're a kid, it doesn't bother you.
Yeah, I was in school.
Yeah.
In the lower classes, I may not have taken any much interest. I was only involved in a couple of math books in the end.
Yeah.
One of them was when the Pope visited India.
86. Okay.
So I was doing the proofreading
And he wrote on a typewriter?
He never used to type, he used to get other people to type for him.
Okay.
He did not know how to use the typewriter. In fact, he was not at all tech savvy. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in those days that was normal. Today, kids grow up using a computer or whatever. But he would actually get these books published through mainstream publishers. This one is from Sterling, no? Which is quite a prominent publishing house. Yeah, so
I think Asian has also published a book.
Asian Educational
Asian Publishing from Bangalore.
Asian, which has now changed hands and it's run by another family, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. And I mean, like, you know how many of his books? How many of them are in your collection today? All?
We'll be having all of them.
Sorry. Is Politics and Political Leadership in Goa still in print?
No, I don't think so.
It's not available for sale.
No. Yeah, I don't think any of them are still in print.
Yeah. So going through
In fact, the last book that he wrote was Freedom to Build, Not Destroy.
Yeah.
That I think all the copies are almost over.
I remember your dad's books, and particularly politics and political leadership in Goa. And as I was saying a few minutes back, in the 80s, this was one of the very few books which was easily available, and it gave a good insight into the history of politics in Goa, right from 1961, the end of colonial rule, and opinion poll, and all those kind of things. And Goa is the kind of place where it's very hard to find hard facts, details, documentation done on it. And your dad was playing a useful role in Bombay in those days, in that sense. No, 125 rupees for this hardbound book.
Yeah.
So it's been in my collection for the last 40 years.
Okay.
I think we should not underestimate the power of the written word. Any memories of your dad? What kind of a person he was? You said he was in advertising.
Yeah, he was in
What did he run? He
publication.
had his own firm, or
No, it was started towards the end of the 70s. I think
I
after
see.
77, 76, 77 he started.
Yeah. And this was what was the name of it?
Aminar Advertising.
Okay, which is what you are looking after today.
Yes.
Why Aminar?
That was our names coined together to form Aminar.
Anand and
All our names.
all your names.
Yeah.
That is who?
My mother, my sister, and myself. And his own maybe, possibly.
I see. Very interesting. So Aminar is based in Fort, and you're holding the fort now. Very interesting. Your kids are in the 10th and 12th standard. They also are obviously interested, and I must apologize for giving you so much trouble in picking up these 3 or 4 titles you needed. You are dedicated to understanding Goa, and how do you take your father's work forward?
They are quite well versed with Goa, and they are interested also.
How are you taking his work forward? Any plans? Or
let's see now. He has still to join college.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's going to do.
Okay. Today the passion is to go in for the sciences and technology and
No. Both are. One is already taken arts.
Okay.
He wants to get into BMM when the results are out.
Yeah.
And the other also wants to get into arts.
I see. Very good. Any memory of your father as a person, as a writer? His frustrations, his difficulties in getting published, or the fact?
Oh yeah. He had a lot of problems to get his books published. I know it for a fact because the last book that he was trying to publish regarding the riot, it was after the Gujarat riots.
Okay.
And he had a lot of problems to get a publisher. Finally, he got it done with the people who come out with the Indian Currents in Delhi.
I see.
There's a Catholic publication.
Indian Currents.
Indian Currents. The same publisher agreed to come out with this.
Okay.
And that is because it was backed by the CBCI.
I see. So you all trace your roots to Margao in that sense? Raya. Esteves.
Yeah.
Esteves is a rare name now in Goa. Not very common.
No, not common at all.
Only family?
No, I think there are a couple of families more.
I see.
Because we have read it in the papers some in the past.
Thank you so much for sharing your time. I thought it was so important to capture your dad's memories because this is a name I've heard so much. And I didn't connect. I should have connected, when you first emailed me.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.